I was walking in here, saw a friend of mine who's a Republican, and we both shook our heads. And he said, I have never seen anything like it. If you like mud wrestling, you want to vote for the Republican nominee this year. If you believe this is serious business, and we're actually electing someone to run the country, and a little experience might help, you're going to have to vote for Hillary Clinton.
The day before Super Tuesday, where is Hillary Clinton? In Virginia, the greatest state in the greatest nation on earth, the Commonwealth of Virginia.
There could not be a bigger difference between what I believe we need to do to move our country forward and what the Republicans are promising to do, which would rip away the progress, send us backwards, deprive people of rights that they have obtained, and generally make it very difficult for us to have the kind of opportunity that I know America deserves and that we can achieve together. So here's what I want you to know. I'm running for president to break down every barrier that stands in the way of America fulfilling its potential. And I want to make it possible for every single American, particularly young Americans, to go as far as you can. Now, I do have a disagreement with my esteemed opponent in the Democratic primary because he wants to give everybody free college, and there's two problems with that. One is that does nothing to get the cost down. If you're going to have a guarantee of free money, there's no reason to try to get the cost down. The other problem with it is I think people who can afford, upper class, rich people, they should pay. I am not going to tax you and your family to send Donald Trump's youngest child to college for free. So we've got work to do. And there's more exciting opportunities to knock down barriers. But let's think for a minute about where we disagree with the Republicans on what they say about civil rights and voting rights and women's rights and gay rights and workers' rights. They seem to be against them all. So here's where I stand. I support a woman's right to make her own decisions about health care. I will defend Planned Parenthood against these partisan Republican attacks. I will defend marriage equality and work to end discrimination against the LGBT community. I will defend voting rights against all of the efforts to make it harder and harder for people to exercise their right to vote. I will do everything I can to end Citizens United, one of the worst decisions that has ever been decided. And I applaud President Obama for fulfilling his constitutional responsibilities to actually nominate a Supreme Court justice. And now I think we have to demand that the Senate fulfill its constitutional responsibilities and act on that nomination. I'm going to continue to work for comprehensive immigration reform with a path to citizenship. I will defend Social Security against the Republican schemes to privatize it and turn the trust fund over to Wall Street, the worst idea ever. I will stand up for the simple proposition that the wealthy in this country need to pay their fair share in the tax system. And when a company or an individual pulls all the games and gimmicks in order to avoid paying their fair share, we're going to crack down on that. Now that we finally have a ceasefire in Syria, we've got to work to hold it. And while we have it, turn people's attention toward ISIS and the other terrorist groups. Now, just imagine, I built the coalition that took on the sanctions to impose on Iran, put it together, including China and Russia. I know how hard it is to do. And I know we got to do the same to defeat all of the terrorist groups from North Africa to South Asia. So when you've got somebody running for president who's insulting people, insulting their religion, I'll tell you, that makes a hard job even harder. So here's what I'm asking you. If you will stand with me tomorrow, if you will stand with me during this campaign, and then if you will work with me to achieve this mission I have laid out of knocking down these barriers, of creating opportunities, of giving every single person in this country, not just the feeling but the reality, that we are all equal before the law. That's why we're going to fix the criminal justice system and the incarceration system. That we all have potential. That's why we're going to deal with jobs and health care and education. That we all have rights. That's why we're going to defend the rights that we have. If you will stand with me, I truly believe America's best years are still ahead of us. So let's go out and make that come true. Thank you all so very, very much.